and then stop for a second, then I'll get the champers. Actually, let's just film it all together. Yeah. Like, what's he gonna do?
Dr. Madonna, belly, take 1 march.
Does this look natural?
Hey everybody, Dr. Madonna here. Hey everybody, Dr. Madonna here.
You caught me.
That microphone is really long. How are we today, boys?
What?
How are we today?
How are we? Fabulous.
Fantastic.
Good.
Yeah.
We're in LA and it's lovely out.
Right? Yes.
And we're hanging out in bed.
I know. Welcome.
So, lady.
See, this is how you start your day.
Yes, exactly. At what? Is it 10 o'clock in the morning?
It's Madonna communion.
Tuesday morning, 10 o'clock. Cheers.
In the eyes, in the eyes.
Cheers.
In the eyes.
Cheers. Let's get chatty.
Dr. Madonna, belly, take 2 mark. Dr. Madonna, belly, take 3 mark.
Madonna belly.
Should have filmed that into part of the drinking.
Madonna belly.
I'm not going to drink it all. I'm just going to sip this now, okay? I'm not going to get crazy or drunk.
Time will tell the truth.
Exactly. You're right. I want to know before you auditioned for Blond Ambition, were you fans of Madonna? Did you watch the Who's That Girl tour beforehand?
No, I had never seen her and I was not a fan.
No?
I mean, obviously I knew who she was, but no, she wasn't somebody who's... I never owned an album until I got with her because I needed to know more, but...
Did she give you the album or did you have to buy it?
No, I just went and bought one. Yeah. Yeah, but no, I was not a fan.
Wow, that's interesting.
I don't think most of the guys were. I think we actually have
Jose and
realized
Los
that.
are bigger fans than they say they were.
Well, yeah.
You know, I had Like a Prayer because she did a duet with Prince, but that's the only reason why I knew the album.
And you hadn't gone to any concerts at all, like Virgin Tour?
Yeah, no.
No, I only knew before that album because, well, I did see the MTV Awards thing where she was calling in the ground.
I saw that.
I saw that.
But I didn't. But I wasn't there. But.
And when the audition came on, like what sparked you to, when you saw the Blond Ambition World Tour Dancers audition, did you see it as a dancing gig or just like, hey, I want to work with Madonna, or were you just really interested? Was the tour aspect of it?
And no, literally, I had no money. I was going to anything.
Because you were in LA at the time.
I was in LA,
and you were in LA too.
I just booked going on the road with Whitney Houston, so I'd already booked that. So I was just like, oh, I heard about this other audition with them. I'll just go. So for me, it was just complete and utter playtime. If I get it, I get to meet her in the room, whatever. But I was just waiting to find out when I was going to leave with Whitney Houston. And then I got the offer from Madonna. And through much contemplation and the right friends around me, I opted to go with who I did. And it so makes sense because Whitney ended up choosing to only do Japan for 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know, but what a choice to have in a career. Like Madonna or Whitney, who am I going to tour with? Two massive
Especially then, when you know,
the height of the career. That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, totally. It's funny.
That's fun. Your girly show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Were you asked or did you have to audition again?
I was asked.
You were asked.
I ran the auditions here in LA for it.
No way. Wow. So I'm guessing Nikki and Donna were also asked, and then you were asked too. That's amazing. Because I love that scene at the end of the Why Is It So Hard, the three of you together.
Oh, I know.
And that's
it was a
like,
special moment to have, too.
And I think a lot of fans watch that and go, wow, that's the Blond Ambition, the last. It's like watching an Elm Street movie, the last survivors of like the Elm Street, you know?
Yeah, it's fun.
Wow, and I saw you, I was 12 years old.
When
in
we were
Australia, in Melbourne. That was the first ever concert I went to.
Oh, wow.
So I saw you live on stage.
Craziness.
And I actually thought, like I said before, I thought I was taller than you. I thought you were taller than me.
Stage does that though, just because of
he's only 4'9". Yeah, like after the Sex era.
It's sort of like a grow-up tour is what it felt like. And I like that about it. I like that it was more mature and elegant and not so campy. Like that's more my speed.
Yeah. Did you really get choreographed by... Who was it?
Gene Kelly.
Gene Kelly. Was there any involvement at all?
He came in as a consultant. So in the Girly Show tour, we had Rain, and we had finished the number, and then she brought him in to give notes, which was just completely freaking so amazing to me.
Wow.
And and so he did. But what was wild about it was before he started any conversation with us, he did like a sort of mock audition and gave us a combination to do to like see who we were. I was like,
you know about this?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, Gene Kelly was around a lot. He came into our Newsies set as well. Like,
Yeah,
it's amazing that he was so involved and
Totally.
around. But I never heard that. That's
Yeah, and then it was fun because 3 months after we finished that tour, they were doing a roast for Gene Kelly, and I got a phone call. He wanted to have all the favorite dancers he'd ever met, and I got called to be their first roast. Yeah, it was a man.
Come on.
From Gene Kelly.
Anyway.
It's lovely that you still have brain cells to remember all
Of
these
course.
things.
No. I don't. That's why I'm already
After
getting.
drinking every morning.
I'm already getting a
you're able
bit
to do
drunk.
it.
I'm already feeling it. Just letting you know that. Watch out.
She was sitting on the floor at Alley Cat Studios at the bottom of the mirror because
Is this yours?
This
Both
is
of
mine.
yours? Okay.
Well, it might be yours as well.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
She had a little like Nike cap and her little like Nike or Gautier glasses or something on, and her little like running gear. And she was just watching everybody 40 at a time, and like real low key. She'd point to someone and say, "You stay." And that was it. That was sort of the moment of, I guess, meeting her. It wasn't like a, "Hey, how are you doing?" I don't think I actually really met her like a, "Hey, how are you doing?" until we were in rehearsals.
Until we did.
Oh no! Until we were at the club at Club
Exactly.
Louis.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Kevin, watch out.
Oh, stop it, Richard. Stop doing that to my brother.
I have to get back over. Guys, you've completely got me. I've got myself drunk. I don't drink. So, I really don't know. I get hammered after, 2 glasses of red wine.
The club thing was that she had already done a big cut at the studio of dancers.
And I didn't make it.
Really?
But you were at the club.
Yeah, but she didn't hire me. She'd already taken Oliver and Gabriel.
Yeah, but she invited you to the club because she knew she was going
Well,
to. That's why we
later,
all
no, because Chris had offered the job of associate choreographer to me, and I accepted that. And then,
Jacoby?
yeah, and then I got brought in. So it wasn't like I wasn't a dancer at the club yet. I was just.
But she knew you were going to be part of the crew in some form.
Yes. She knew I was on staff.
Well, she calls
The
it
Club
a little
Louis
Asian
thing-
beauty, doesn't she?
Well, later on.
Later on.
Yeah, the Club Louis thing was her
Yeah.
just basically
Introducing
seeing
us
how
all.
we could vibe. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to be on the road. How do we hang? Can we hang? Who's going to get messy? And all that.
Yeah.
And it was super fun.
It was totally fun. It was dark. The music was great.
Totally.
She literally made a point of dancing with each of us.
Oh, yeah, she was, like, in
all
it,
up
like,
in
having
it
a
and
good
see what our
time.
groove
Oh,
was.
wow.
It was fun.
I love that.
So when did you hear back then after that club night?
After the club, well, I continued.
2 days before we started.
No, I continued in the
Really?
rehearsal with the then choreographer Carol Armitage, who about 2 or 3 days in was not really working out, and nobody would listen to her. Not we would, and I would, of course, I was assistant, but Jose and Louis. They would be standing outside smoking and be like, "Tell us when you're done." And she saw that she really couldn't keep them in line, and then she was a good friend of Madonna's, but Madonna let her go and brought in Vincent Patterson, who I had worked with a couple months earlier, and so he kept me as assistant, thank God. And I wasn't actually a dancer until we were on the set of Vogue. I was still associate choreographer in the background, kind of on the sides. That's why I'm the butler. I'm not even dancing with everybody. And then
in the Vogue video.
yeah. I mean, I danced, but on the side just to fill up space. And then on the second day, in between takes, she came up and started and asked me, "You want to go on the road with me?" And actually negotiated my contract with me in person right there.
Carlton.
Yes,
Carlton.
sir.
In the picture, Truth or Dare, aka In Bed with Madonna, your mother is featured and she gets a photo taken with Madonna. Mm-hmm. Whatever happened to that photo?
I have no idea.
No idea?
I don't even think I ever saw that photo. But what was cool for me, which was crazy, because my mom modeled on a regional level around Chicago. Mm-hmm. And I knew that she did that, and she was a showgirl in her own kind of way. But I'd never seen her in that. And the moment that she was backstage about to get introduced to Madonna, and Madonna walked out, I saw my mom pull and tuck her neck and her face. I was like, oh my God. And she went, hello, and did her thing. I was like, wow, Mom. All right, female to female, go there.
Now we know where you got it.
Okay.
I love that scene. And she sees Madonna straight away. She's like, oh, she's so tiny and cute.
Yeah,
I love that. Yeah, I was always wondering. We used to always wonder, whatever happened to that photograph? It's such a beautiful photo.
I
of them
wish
two
I could
together.
find that photo. Yeah, totally.
I used to always imagine that it would be in the refrigerator or something. In her kitchen for conversation matter with all of her friends.
That's funny.
And also the rosary beads. Madonna gave you guys rosary beads. Do you still have those rosary beads?
I don't. They were stolen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, even along with all the jewelry my dad gave me, and
Bloody LA.
Thanks for digging up old wounds.
I remember I lived in Silver Lake, and I had the girly show hat and the raincoat and all these things in storage. I left the shit there. I didn't care.
Wow.
Totally.
I have every letter I've ever received, every card I've ever received.
I have one
everything.
birthday card.
Like
That's
literally I've like literally boxes.
Really?
Yeah. Every fan letter,
Oh
everything.
gosh, no, I can't.
I do. Well, I feel like if they spent the time to do that, then I appreciate it. I have my passes. I have VIP backstage passes from Madonna. I don't have my laminate because that was taken as well, but I have our tour, like our guide of where we're going, our hotel.
Well, that's very interesting.
I have
That's
my
cool stuff to
notes
keep.
of the rehearsal.
Wow.
I have our music tapes of rehearsal. I have.
Are you getting all this?
I know. I have all my costumes.
Kevin is the one.
I do.
Oh, the costumes. Did you keep your costumes?
I kept all my costumes. My ex stole one of them, that racing top at the hood. That's the only one I
They're
don't
causing
have.
a commotion.
Yeah, no, Where's the Party? Yeah,
Where's the Party?
Party for us, yeah.
I love that's the real Gaultier. It's great.
After we finished the girly show, Madonna invited Nikki and I to the costume storage warehouse.
What?
And
Tell
we
us
could-
about it,
And
Carlton.
we could grab anything we
What?
wanted if we could fit it.
No way.
Totally.
Oh my god.
So I walked away with
So
it.
that's why they're getting rid of those ponytails and bras.
Pretty much, yeah.
So did you see that she was collecting an archive of her costumes?
Oh,
and-
totally. It was a massive warehouse.
Wow.
Yeah, totally.
So that's like Gaultier and
Everything
Versace
else.
and
all that goodness.
When we were rehearsing,
Wow.
literally gigantic boxes of things arriving, and then here's this giant,
you get to
huge
choose.
cage dress, and she's like, "I'm never gonna wear this."
while the media was growing and the hysteria of the concert was growing over the months that you guys were touring with, like the Canadian arrest
Right.
situation,
Right,
and then
right.
like the controversies in Italy, was the media presence getting bigger and bigger at all whilst you were going along, or did you feel like celebrities basically? Like, did you feel
well,
like you were part of something special and revolutionary in a way?
The revolutionary part, no. Did we feel like a celebrity once the tour got going? Yes.
Yeah.
Because people would be waiting outside hotels with our names on it and her name or at the venue. So that stuff was going on, but being conscious of like a movement that was being created or like this like leaving a lasting something, I wasn't on that page. I don't know about Kevin.
Not me at all. I literally had never been on tour before, so I thought this is the way everything was. I thought this is just normal. I didn't really feel like a celebrity, I guess. Also, by the time that sort of the celebrity moment would have happened in a city, we were already on to the next city. So by the time press came out or they were on TV, it was like we were already gone. So unless they knew about us ahead of time, we didn't really get that impact of, oh yeah, we made a huge, statement in Toronto. Like not until later.
We didn't really have reality television back then at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So we know now what reality television is like and what like Truth or Dare was like. You guys were complete virgins to it. Like, so you had no idea how the footage, because she even said herself, she didn't know what she was going to do with it. She just said film the whole thing.
I think it totally depended on the day and what the topic of that day for camera was going to be about.
Yeah.
Some moments we were completely wild and loose and that felt okay. And then, I don't know, at least for myself, I could tell that there would be another time when they wanted to film like an interview set, like piece or some other thing that I knew, be aware of what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I was like aware of it and sometimes I was letting myself just be free.
I let myself be free the whole time. I wasn't a very
Really?
loud, outgoing person anyways.
True.
So I really made an effort to be myself, which also meant not hamming it up for camera.
Correct.
And also, I know as a person, when I'm confronted with really loud, crazy people, I kind of just play the opposite.
Go the opposite.
I shut down because I'm like, it's not like I'm going to challenge that or like be in competition with that, or I'm not trying to get attention. So when somebody's being that loud and really taking attention, I just sort of turn the other way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know I come across very quiet on the movie, but I wasn't. I was quite loud. When they turned the cameras on, I just didn't like.
Yeah, but you were having a good time, Loud.
Oh, yeah.
You weren't doing
Oh, yeah.
too much. Like, there was never a like, oh, he needs to bring it down. Unlike we would say about a couple other people.
I also wasn't as much of a talker, I think, back then. I had fun and I played around, I was like participative,
Right.
but I wasn't a big talker.
Right,
I was definitely an observer, a little more.
Hey, you had to squeeze into a mermaid suit, so you're forgiven, right?
Well, yes, and one time actually filled with jam.
I remember that.
I was furious.
Jam?
Jam.
Somebody
Who
pranked him.
did
They
that?
pranked it on the. Well, they were supposed to get all the pranks out of the way in Vigo, in Spain, because it was like before the last show, and they're like, do your pranks now. That's why there was like a dildo on the bed when
Really?
like a virgin came up. She was like trying to hide this gigantic black dildo, and instead of God, it said Elvis. Yeah, but I was expecting pranks in that one, and then when we got into the Nice HBO show, then they pranked me and filled my fins with jam. And if you watch the show, you'll see her mopping the stage with her marabou, whatever, because she's like, what is this crap on the stage?
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah.
Do you still have your bomber jackets?
I do.
What?
What?
Do you know
He's
how
not
much
attached,
I
he's not
wanted
sentimental.
that jacket?
Huh?
Growing up, like, I want that jacket with the crown on it.
I mean, I had it for a minute, and then I got rid of it.
Like,
Oh,
what, you
yeah.
gave it to the Goodwill?
I don't know. I don't know.
Celine sold his for like $100 or
or
something. I'm the only one that has it left. I'm the only one.
I'm just gonna have a little bit more. There we go. So if my hair's gonna be all messed up, Kevin's hair's gonna be all messed up. So you got sweat on your hands now, Carlton.
You look out. Yeah, this is the.
That's
Shut
much
up.
better.
Getting looped on your breakfast.
I'm sorry. Put it down.
I know. I was like, I have to leave that over
I
there.
have to. Yes. I'm just like holding this.
Go ahead.
So seeing men kiss for the first time was a revolutionary experience for a lot of boys and men back in the day.
People are saying. I just feel like we were just so in the moment. Like when the kiss happened, I didn't like even let's say like 2 hours after the kiss happened.
Yeah.
None of us were in conversation like, oh, do you know how
gonna be
that's gonna
amazing.
be?
Like-
They're gonna think that's scandalous. They've
Yeah.
never seen two guys. No, we never ever were on that page.
Yeah.
They caught it. We laughed about the kiss, and that was that. And then
They wanted
Which
it
was
bad.
good because it
they
was
did want it bad.
That's why. That's what we were all talking about. Finally.
Exactly. Exactly. That's
Finally,
what
an
we talked
excuse.
about.
I
So, yeah.
mean, there's kisses involved. But
Oh, and you kissed
there
Madonna.
can be.
I did kiss
was
Madonna.
cut,
Yeah,
yes.
she took it out after we screened the movie.
kissed
yeah.
what?
She was mad at me.
Madonna. There's a cut scene of Truth or
Yeah.
Dare.
Oh, that's cool.
Remember? Oh, you weren't there when we screened the movie in LA before it was released.
Yeah.
And it's my fault. There was a lot of press going on, and I said screen this movie, especially for Gabriel. That scene was in there, and then after I was like, well, let's talk about the contract, and then I think out of that moment of being upset about wanting to talk about the contract,
Yeah.
that scene,
Just the presentation of being gay caught on film,
like
as
visibility,
well.
presence,
And
representation.
It's so. What I'm trying to say is, you guys made a very, very big impact to a lot of guys out there, and I think you helped a lot of people. So, it's
Thank you.
true. I think
Yeah.
it's a great thing, and I'm sure that a lot of people have
It's
said
an honor,
that
yeah.
to you over the years, especially with this documentary that's come out.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Well, more this year than ever. Truly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we've ever truly gotten the grasp the scope of the impact until this year.
Yeah.
And every country, every city
Yeah,
where we're
sure.
getting this response, it's the same story every time. And it's like, but we haven't heard this before.
Yeah.
Like, not on this level.
Dance Formation, my life coaching program.
Yeah.
It's great in that I finally found me as a life coach. There's 1,000 of them out there, right?
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean, of course, the fan base that I have from that job and other jobs that I've done, I'm sure the same for Kevin. Because Kevin, I will always speak about Kevin because I fucking love him and I love who he is as a businessman, and he has his own fan base that's well beyond the Madonna thing, and I think that there's some people that follow me also, and I love the coaching realm. For me, it's nice being able to have this sort of double lifestyle where one part of it, the entertainment thing, gets to be about me, and then the other thing, the coaching work and dance formation, gets to be about pouring into other people.
Yeah.
So I like that balance.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Yeah.
It makes you feel fulfilled, I bet, too.
1,000%.
And the Vogue rehearsals for the MTV Awards.
Yeah.
Were they intense? Or
No.
like
No, because we already hit. No, because we had
was
already
easy.
done the number, and
Yeah.
now it's just about changing costumes and putting it in a slightly different stage.
because then you use a bit of the like a prayer routine from with the choreo as you shuffle across the stage, and I guess that's more of a question for Nikki and Donna as to how nerve-wracking Madonna was to catch that fan when she flips.
Oh, they practiced. That was
yeah,
nerve-wracking.
that
They
was
were
nerve-
practicing that like
Everyone's like-
nonstop, like over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, they were very relieved that actually worked.
Because you performed that twice, didn't you, at the MTV Awards and a
Yes, and I
And
completely
then at the
spaced
bit
that.
of,
Completely
dude,
forgot
so did
that.
I until
was
somebody
like,
just started
it just didn't
posting
exist.
about
Somebody,
that.
I was like, "You're lying," and then somebody was like, showed me a video, and I was like,
We did
oh.
a benefit event.
I
in the same-
completely,
Totally, same,
spaced
Kevin.
that.
Same.
Like,
I don't know
didn't
how
even-
that went away.
Yeah, not even a minute.
well, now it's
remember.
been resurrected. In your
Yeah,
mind.
totally.
And do you have the costume still? Did you take?
Yeah.
didn't-
Oh, you mean the-
What do you think my answer is?
You mean the Edwardian one?
Thank you. I don't.
The Edwardian one?
Yeah.
Oh no, we didn't even own those. Those were all actually costumes from
Those
the
are
costume
rented.
house. They were real.
Were they from Dangerous Liaisons?
Well,
The girls' dresses were.
The girls' dresses were.
Yeah.
Because there
Ours
was
were
Michelle's
actually
Pfeiffer's,
real
I think.
Edwardian pieces.
Oh, wow.
Like that's why when they ripped, I was like, oh God, Oliver.
Like, do you see the old M that you knew in the new M that we see now and today?
I bought Bedtime Stories. That's actually one of my favorite albums.
That's my
from her.
favorite album.
Yeah, I bought Ray of Light as well. I think that was fantastic. I don't follow her music in general. It's not like I'm a fan. I don't follow it just because. But I do follow the stuff that I like, and I'm just very straightforward with that. You can't help but follow Madonna in our world, in the dance world, in the entertainment world. It's just part of the world we live in.
I'm sure every dance
She's
studio
everywhere.
has, cassettes and tapes of I'm Breathless to Confessions on a Dance Floor and
Well, besides the fact that every single person in the world comes up to us to ask us about
question.
her,
Yeah.
constantly.
Yeah.
Even if I wanted to ignore it or hide
true.
in the corner, there's no
Sorry.
way. No, it's. I'm like everybody comes out of the woodwork.
sorry, Jesus.
No, it's fine. I mean, she's a force to be reckoned with, and she has a lot of really wonderful things that she does, and I'm glad that people keep me up to date on what she does.
I could definitely say that I still see that the Madonna that we knew, or versions of that, happening today. You know?
I think more so, actually, because now that she's sort of really deep in this idea of family, like I feel like I don't know. I just sense that there's something about her that I see back with us.
I hear that the Rebel Heart tour was the most sort of humanized
It was.
version of her, and I wish I could have seen that.
Yeah, me too.
Because I like it when I see the throwaway version.
It was the first time, I had only ever seen Madonna doing the Girly Show live. So every other tour I've actually seen on, TV or DVD video. And watching the Rebel Heart tour, I saw it in LA, not in Melbourne, in Australia. Madonna was on stage and she was smiling.
Yeah.
And she looked genuinely happy and laid back.
I had a message on my answering machine. Hi, I'm trying to reach Carlton. This is Madonna. And I was like, what the fuck? That tour was about freedom. Freedom as a human being, freedom in regards to speak the truth.
Still vaguely fit into it.
It was a wild, high-velocity family.
Each one of us would have taken a bullet for each one of us.
The sort of daring progressive message was that you can be gay and human.
I want to be like those guys, be that sort of free and open.
I saw two men kiss for the first time.
Like,
Do we care what people think of us?
So strike a pose. What's the reception been around the world so far? You've been to many countries.
We have been.
You've been globetrotters.
Riots and death
Literally.
threats. Riots and death threats. Really, yeah.
Do they up the security?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why Oliver's always saying security. No. Sorry, inside joke. Sorry.
Inside joke.
Inside joke.
And with the documentary, who initiated it?
Ryer Swan and Esther Gold, both are amazing Dutch business people and do what they do. But it was his baby. His mom took him to see Truth or Dare when he was 11 years old.
Wow. Yeah.
And then cut to he's an adult, and he himself just started wondering, like, well, I wonder what happened to those guys. And he says that he went online and just started to do some research to get info and happened upon lots of questions from people from back then that were asking the same question.
Yeah.
So then he enrolled Esther, pitched her the idea. She said it felt like a really strong thing. And they came together. They've only done, this one project as a team. So, but they're phenomenal people.
We represented a family to so many people. And also there's a sort of aspirational quality where people thought, wow, I wish I could be part of that family and have Madonna as my sort of mother figure or taking care of me or standing up for me like them.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're finding is that all these people think, wow, you're sort of this fantasy family for us that we wished we could be a part of. And so they related to us as family over all these years, unbeknownst to us.
Yeah, exactly.
And so when they meet us, there's this instant like ease and familiarity and like and sort of general love that people feel for us out of nowhere. That is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like it's been overwhelming. The acknowledgement and love and affirmation that we've been receiving from people.
It's just been constant.
It's overwhelming.
The responses from this year are finally driving home what people have been trying to get us to see for years, which is that we have really made a substantial difference. And because Kevin and I were talking about this, it's like, why does it all of a sudden feel like a big deal when the fans have been, sending us emails all these years? And I don't think I ever took the fans seriously. I thought that they were more interested in getting in the machine of the Madonna world, so then they would compliment us to sort of slide closer to it.
Yeah.
But this experience and the way that, and maybe it's the relationship close to close, because up until now, it's just been an email that somebody will send out or something like that. So to actually be with somebody and to really feel their energy and to watch their eyes well up, that shit is amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing.
And even people that haven't even seen Truth or Dare and never saw Blonde Ambition, and they watch this movie, and that they're impacted by who we're being, and not just by what happened in the past or her. Like it's just this moment of clarity that, wow, okay, we have touched people, and isn't that all we want as an artist?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think as a human being.
I
think everybody, be a dentist, painter,
connect.
Whatever, everybody is trying to do whatever they do so that they can make a quiet statement that they were significant in the world, that they contributed something. And so the fact that we have something that's just brought that all the way home as a slam dunk is also, for me, very surreal and is kind of a lot to get with, to be really honest. Just accepting that. And mainly because I think, like most of us, it is that pursuing track that keeps our drive happening.
Yeah.
So like the thing that I'm looking at right now is, well, if my drive was based around me getting sort of validated, well, if that's now done. Then where's this extra fuel come from?
Now there's this responsibility.
And I haven't answered that.
Now there's a responsibility, like, oh, people are listening. They have been listening.
Yeah.
Well, now what do we have to say? And now we realize what we have said has changed lives. What we have said has saved some people. How can we not continue to do so, or be more outspoken, or speak for those who don't speak up for themselves or can't speak up for themselves? Totally. How can we not be advocates for rights and for what people are saying who we've been? How can we not continue to be that in a more bold and outspoken way?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a call to being, for sure.
Absolutely, and I definitely feel that this film had to be made. I really do think it had to be made. And just seeing, like I said before, the camaraderie of everyone as well. And also, I love the moment in the film when you actually see some of the fans that have been messaging and emailing you guys over the years that talk about the impact that you guys had on them. And I can relate that to me and a lot of my friends and people that I've known through history, and even people that, friends and relatives of mine that they're not even Madonna fans, they always remember the dances because you guys were such a pivotal part of that movie as well. And I think this film, it's great. I saw it last week, and it answered a lot of questions that I always had resonating in my head, and it was like a good piece of closure as well, and I hope it does really well. Like it's already doing really well now.
Yeah,
but
totally.
Thank
you guys have been going all around the world. I've been following your Facebook feeds. I've been liking your pictures.
Where in the world is
And you're
Kevin
like,
Carlton?
who's
Like what?
Who's going where
Wasn't
now?
he in Europe? But now
Like,
he's in
and,
South
and I'm
America.
thinking, how the hell are they going to be here in time on Wednesday when you just?
I just got home yesterday
last night,
morning.
yeah.
Thanks, guys. You
Still
made
jet
it.
lagged, yeah.
Really made it. The Queen herself has she been in contact since the film? Has she watched it?
We know that she knows about it, so we don't. She's not reached out with a direct statement about the movie. But when we were in New York, her publicist Liz Rosenberg, who's been with her since back in the day, got a screener copy, and the week before we got to Tribeca, she reached out to the producer, said she saw it, absolutely loved it for all these reasons. She was Liz, and that she was going to highly recommend M to watch it.
For all the people that still haven't seen Strike a Pose, where can we find more information about it, Kevin?
The easiest place is go to Facebook and go to the Strike a Pose documentary page and like that. And they post upcoming screenings, they post videos, they post all sorts of fun things. They also are on Twitter and Instagram.
Yep.
You got that right?
Is solid.
That everything is a blessing or a curse as you take it.
Yes.
You know, it's about how it lands. It's not about what it is. It's about how you take it.
Yes.
So, you know, no matter what happened with the lawsuit or the moments with her, the good stuff, the weird stuff, the misunderstandings, like it's all been positive. It's all been a wonderful learning experience, and it's all, you know, it's made us who we are. I mean, I wouldn't trade any of it for anything.
And it's led you to being in this
To
bed
spooning
today, West Hollywood.
right here, right
spooning
now.
with us all together. Oh! Kevin and Carlton, thank you so much for joining me in bed today. For a little chat.
Kevin, tell them where they can find you.
Where can we find you, Kevin?
www.kevinstay.com, STEA. Also on Twitter, MySpace, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat,
The
blah,
whole
blah, blah,
kit
blah.
and caboodle.
Kevin Stay everywhere.
And Carlton, what about you, Carlton?
CarltonWilborn.com and mydanceformation.com. Good night, Kevin.
Good night, Carlton.
Good night, Rich.
Good night, John Boy.
Good night, Carlton.
Good night, Rich.
Dr. Madonna signing off.
Good night, Dr. Madonna.
Good night, Dr. Madonna.